Hello and welcome to another video. We're going to go ahead and show you how to create forms for each of the tables. So it will be easier for an end user to go ahead and enter the data. So I'm going to start with the table author. So we're going to go ahead and start create. We're going to go to the form wizard, and I need every piece of data to go in there. So I'm going to go ahead and move everything, and I'm going to go ahead and next I'm going to leave it as columnar. And next, of course, I must change to FRM. This is something we need to really heavily be aware of, because we don't want to mess up the form with the table later. Of course, we could go ahead and go to the layout view and just make it clear that we can change that. For example, we could say here data entry for author, data entry for author, or author data entry. Maybe it's a better way of saying it. Author data entry. Of course, we could go ahead and take that a little bit and make it bigger, nicer looking, different font. I'm going to use that with one of them because I'm not going to really waste your time trying to show you everyone. But I'm going to go ahead and, of course, hit that shift key. You cannot see my finger. That's exactly what I'm doing. Pressing the shift key on multiple of those, which we could also make that bold, maybe even a little bit bigger, like size 14, and that will make our form looks a little bit better. I could go ahead and add another author, for example, but I need to change the view from going to home to the form. This way I'll be able to enter a data. So let's go ahead and say 0019, first name is Jack, and last name it's let's say Roberts, and email is roberts@gmail.com. So we have now actually more than four authors to be exact. You could go ahead and write more books if you want. I'm going to go ahead and save that because I changed the design. It's asking me to save. I'm going to go to the create, go to the form wizard. I'm going to choose now the book. It's already been chosen, but I will still make sure that it's there. Go in there, next, next. Of course, I need to change that to FRM for book, and we're going to say finish, and you will see, of course, maybe I spelled that. Instead of saying FRM, I put LFRM. But no big deal, because I'm going to go ahead and change that in the layout view for this one here, and I'm going to say here book data entry, and I could go ahead and add more book if I want. Okay, so we could do that if you want by changing again to go to the form, and I'll be able to enter say here. Okay, say here we could go ahead and say C++, programming, genre is educational, and price is like 434. It's not a hard. Number of pages is 345, and date of purchase or publication. I've been confusing you with those. It doesn't matter really. It's the whole idea is to go ahead and 11. So we have now 3 books, and I could go ahead and close that. Of course, I need to save it. Now we could go ahead and do the same thing for the table authors. I'm going to go ahead and go to the form wizard. I'm going to make sure that this is the table that I'm looking for. I don't really need the ID because it's going to enter for me anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and move the table to the form, the author ID, and I'm going to move the ISBN number. That's what I need for this table, and I could go ahead and change that also to FRM, and we could go ahead and now we could see if I change that to the layout, I'll be able to change that, of course. Author and book, and I could say here Junction table. Okay, and of course we could make it look better, as you probably know how to do it. For this one here, that has closing everything. When you do really want it to change something, close everything. If you want to rename some form, you might not be able to rename it unless it's closed. So I'm going to say rename this, and definitely I want to take the L from the name. So I want it to be called FRM book, just in case in future I want it to be able to access this through programming, because as we all know, VBA is the language behind Access, which is very similar to Visual Basic. So I need to know which one of those objects I need to talk to, and of course if I'm consistent with the name for the object forms FRM, it would not be really a source of mistake for me. That's why I'm taking my time to show you that you could rename the object even you made a mistake like I did. Of course, we could go ahead and add more data in this case if you wanted to. Remember, we added another book and another author. You could go ahead and put that one here. I could put that the last one, which was this one here. The person wrote the C programming book for a new author ID. And notice here, I'm able really to continue with this, but I don't know how many minutes already been elapsed. So I'm going to go ahead and stop because I wanted to form the next video based on the query, because we're going to be doing some calculation there. Thank you for watching, and we're going to continue. There's 2 more videos left, one for the queries and one for definitely to go ahead and make all this hard work meaningful for us through presenting our finding in a report. Thank you.